Uh, mm, Dear colleagues, social workers, dear delegates who are participating in this international social conference, physically or online. To start, Hakizamungu Alexandre. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Gothenburg in the social work department. And I'm going to talk about the burden of food insecurity on smallholder farmers in East African communities. As you can see, I have chosen very beautiful pictures. Of course, even though I'm going to talk about food insecurity, but this is not a situation that is desirable, but something which is desirable is, of course, food security. And fruits are very good when it comes to our health and food. So this is the first paper which is in progress. I have started working on a scoping review to be able to know what are the gaps in the research on food insecurity for smallholder farmers, so that I can be able to work on the data collection instrument for my field work, which is probably going to take place mid of next year. So your feedback to this paper will be very much appreciated, because as I told you, it's an ongoing research. The problem statement, as you can see it, is that food insecurity is not just a problem of one small community, but it's a global public health challenge. And this has been shown by the joint research report of the Food Agriculture Organization, IFID, UNICEF, World Food Program, World Health Organization of 2020, which showed that 20% of the world population had severe food insecurity, while 60% of that population who experienced severe food insecurity were in Africa. So mostly these people who go hunger are people who are involved in agriculture, because 90% of the world farmers are small at a small scale. So food insecurity is an alarm to achieving nutritional global targets by 2030. As you know, the second sustainable development goal talks about eradication of hunger. So this research is very interesting to know how those small farmer holders can really contribute towards achieving the sustainable development goals. And the aim of this research, as I told you, it's a scoping review, and it aims to map an existing literature review on knowledge, attitude, practice of smallholder farmers about interventions of food insecurity in East African community in general, but with a more focus on Rwanda. And to achieve this aim, I used two databases, one in which is International Biography of Social Sciences, and another one which is PublicMed. I used these two databases because I thought all the published articles in social sciences could be found in the International Bibliography of Social Sciences. But on the other hand, because food insecurity is more linked to public health, I also thought that some of the articles can be also found in PublicMed. And while searching on those two databases, I used the same keywords which you can see there and which are found in the title of the article. While I have come up with some findings in one or in another database, I had to do a screening, because sometimes if you do search on the databases, you come up with a huge number of articles, and I had to find strategies to sort out which ones really fit with my topic. And I had inclusion and exclusion criteria, and with those inclusion and inclusion criteria, I also adopted PLISIMA format, and PLISIMA stands for Preferred Reporting Items for System Review and Meta-Analysis. For the preliminary findings is that for the first results before the screening, in IBSS, I found 813 articles, in PubMed 1025, which make them total of 2018 published articles. And from there, I had again to go for a second screening, because you cannot really be able to read and analyze all those 2018 articles, because they are not even much relevant, they are not all relevant to the topic of at hand. So I had again to specify which languages of the articles, because some were in Spanish, in Italian, in Italia, and others. So I have limited my screening to two languages, English and French. And also I limited the time frame of the papers goes from 2015 up to 2021, end of October. And with those criteria of exclusion, I came up now with a lesser number of articles that can be manageable. And IBSS, I found that 39 were relevant, while PublicMed, they were 42, and in total they are 81. But still, the 81 articles were subject to a third screening, and for this time I used a free online software which is called Ryan. I'm going just to show you how I did it, but first of all, I created a reference list in EndNote, and I exported the EndNote in the Ryan. Sorry, this is not the one I wanted to, just to go to next. Now the 81 articles are in Ryan, and I had again to specify the inclusion criteria, the exclusion criteria, and also then go one by one, reading the title, the abstract, and also the whole paper to really see which one fits with my purpose. And if you can see, those with green color are the ones which are included to be part of my scoping review. Those with red are those which are going to be excluded, and there are other texts maybe in blue or in red again in front of those which were excluded, to explain why have I excluded this, all that. And after this exercise now, I came up with that summary of the 47 articles to be now read in depth and analyzed. And the red stands for those which were excluded. And there is only one paper I have not yet decided whether it will be part of the scoping review or not, which I really need to go back again and read and really understand if it has any connection with my research topic. So this is the process. This is how I proceeded for this scoping review. As I told you, it is ongoing. I have not yet gone for deep analysis, and this is the next step. I thank you so much. No, sorry. Maybe when I was, of course, reading the papers to know which ones are going to be part of my scoping review, I scanned through a very quick analysis, and these are the key highlights of the findings. I saw that children below 5 years and mothers, and more especially breastfeeding mothers, are the most affected by food insecurity. But also there is a mismatch in the knowledge and the practice of smallholder farmers when it comes to the interventions which are in place. Either they don't know how to apply the things that are meant to help them achieve food insecurity or to prevent malnutrition, or they have knowledge that has not been considered when the interventions were designed. There is also a lack of smallholder farmers' involvement in the proposed interventions from the beginning. That's why there's that mismatch. Last but not least, there is also limited social research on food insecurity, because as you saw, many of the articles were found in PubMed, not in IBSS. So this is the end of my presentation. I thank you so much. Your feedback are welcome. Thank you once again.